Hello and welcome to my channel. This studio is a garage conversion. I'm not quite organised yet. However, it's quite interesting to see how the build went. Let's think about where did it all start. Our garage, well, it wasn't quite the start. 2 months before was the start of it. And that's when George had to build a shed to hide's the wrong word, but store, that's the word, yeah. Store all of the stuff from the garage. All that useful stuff that you have in your garage. He had to build a deck and he's had to put the shed on. Anyway, there's a picture of the shed. And we'll move on now. We'll move on to the next part. Here we are as the builders move in. That was it. The builders then moved in with their radio, which only has one volume apparently, very loud. So I used to have to escape to far corners of the house, yeah. And when we got class, it was particularly difficult, especially the time that the cable was cut through and we had no internet. But apart from that, the build went really, really well. So we took out the garage doors, joists in for the ceiling. We spent ages, hours deciding how many points that we needed for electrics, and we had to draw them all over the wall. So I think that was about 15, do you reckon? 15, yeah. So this is the sort of thing that we were doing. You know, George was doing lots of supervising. I was doing lots of keeping my head down. I've got George reminding me in the background. We decided on radiators. Sorry, we decided on no radiators so that the walls would be free for all of the gubbins that you're starting to see gathering around me. So then we had to decide how to heat the place, and we had underfloor heating, which was brilliant. Added a little bit of money to the build, but I don't think we've regretted it for one moment. Our son-in-law, Chris, he then decided that it was a really good idea if we were doing all this to have loads of network points, because he knew that I wanted to do this sort of thing and I'd already had classes online. So that was the next part. George had to put wires through the whole house, and I think George ought to just say hello.
Hi everyone.
Thank you. We had network points in the classroom, and in here we've got 4. What was the mad panic before the plaster went on the wall?
Putting the network cables in.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Well, I wouldn't remember that because George did all the work, but he had to get all of the network cables in really quickly so that the plaster could go on. What else? The ceiling, yeah? We didn't have a ceiling before, so we had to put a ceiling in, because I've got this idea that if we're going to be doing this, I don't want my canvases everywhere. They were in bedrooms, they were everywhere, and it didn't seem any point in filling up the studio with all of the canvases. So the idea of the paintings being upstairs, I think, was brilliant, and it's turned out way better than I could ever have expected. Amazing. You can probably tell that I'm quite enthusiastic about this. I'm really glad to share it with you. One day was very exciting. They took out the garage door, and of course they then had to brick it up, and the exciting day was when the window was in and everything was dry, and that just felt absolutely fantastic. And then we had to insulate the roof space, because obviously the canvases don't want to get, there's so much to consider. You don't want your canvases to be in damp, you don't want your canvases to get hot, too cold, and you know, if we ended up storing other things like paint up there, really important. And of course we had to have extra reinforcement on the floor so that you could actually hold all those canvases, all that weight up there, and access. So if anybody's seen the grid method video, then you'll find there's some ladders. I was practicing because it was my first video, my first tutorial, and so I was a little nervous, and they're in the background, so you can see them there. But here's a few photos of as they were built. What else have I forgotten? Lights. We needed to have lights that were bright, and of course daylight bulbs and all of that, so we spent some time with that. So whilst we were at it, we decided we have an extractor fan, because sometimes I've used resin, and there's all sorts of chemicals that you might use that you know when you're spraying things or whatever. There's a lot of stuff that you do as an artist that really it's a good idea to have some ventilation. And as it happens, it's probably going to help with COVID as well, because we can clear the room, we can actually, you know, have everything extracted outside. So that was fantastic. But even that, we had to calculate at the last minute when the electrician was here saying, what sort of fan do you want? Or what sort of extraction do you want? And we're going, oh, I don't know, we'll have to do the calculation onto Google and, you know, work it out. So that was fun. Well, the next step was, I'd always said, well, we both discussed and decided that if we're going to do this, we also want this room to be versatile. This isn't just an art studio, it's a room that, you know, the grandchildren will be able to come into, that's a social space that we can use for other things. And we've also got all our utilities in here. So we've had to have the cupboards built around it. So we spent quite a lot of time deciding on cupboards, discussing with Phil just how he was going to build the cupboards. So that was something that we really had to think of. But of course I always wanted to have a sink in the corner. So we've had a sink put in because, you know, you need to wash your brushes. The exciting bits were, you know, choosing the cupboards and choosing the flooring, and, you know, when it all started to come together, choosing the colour on the walls and what would go nice as a backdrop with. I mean, I still haven't got paintings on the walls. Hopefully you're going to see this develop. This has only been finished a month or two, so I'm still putting things into the cupboards, I'm still sorting stuff out, so I'm hoping you see this develop. Oh, the final thing. So the final thing after Phil had done all of the units and everything is the door. That's the final thing, our external door. To be honest, we've still got an internal door that we have to replace, but let's gloss over that. But there's an external door. So now, if you're coming for a workshop or an open studio, which I do hope this will happen very, very soon, then people can come in through our green gate and then down our side path, and then you can come in through the door there. Come and see it. Yeah, I'm really excited. So from the 12th of April, I can have individuals or family groups. So if you want to actually come to the studio, then give us a call and you can actually come in and see it. But I hope to have open studios soon. From May, I'm going to be running workshops. Fingers crossed that all the plans go ahead with COVID. So to finish off, I'll leave you with a couple of photos of the finished studio. It would be great if you could comment below and just tell me what you think of this, because this is sort of a first vlog. I plan to do some out and about things and we'll just see how it goes. And hopefully if you comment and tell me what you want, and then I'll sort of try things differently, because I'm very new, so lots of feedback would be great. I'd really appreciate that. Oh, the obvious as well. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. That would be great too. All right, so see you next time. Thanks for watching, bye.